Hello. Just wanted to, make another video. Been a little while. It is obviously late at night, but have my little candle here, really, setting the vibe and such. But anyway, like I said, it's been a while since I've posted. This video is sort of gonna be a little bit rambling, I guess, mostly just sort of giving some life updates and that sort of thing because a lot has happened, most of it good. And I don't know, just want to make a video about it, I guess. Um, so first, I guess a few things, a few big things, I guess. So number one, um, I've decided I'm going to get a tattoo. Um, so I don't know. I'm pretty excited about it. The tattoo artist came recommended to me from a couple work friends actually, where they've both had work done, and then I've seen the artist work online and really like it and that sort of thing. But before I ever found the artist, I guess I should talk about the tattoo because it is, of course, something meaningful and that sort of thing. So let's see here. If I was better prepped, I would have. Da, 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 da. Ah, the beacons have been lit. Yeah. Oh my God. Uh, he- Hello? Oh no. Why did that just? Yeah. Okay. I hope that's okay. Okay. Sorry, just my headphones made some very interesting noises. So I hope everything is still working or was working. All right. Anyway. All right. Let me. Yeah, perfect. Okay, perfect. Um, so whatever. I'm not gonna go through the full email chain, that sort of thing, but I guess I'll actually start with this here. So this is an image that I came across a, a, a a few years ago, actually. It is a phoenix with the transgender pride uh, colors and I don't know. I really liked it. It's something that is very symbolic, the phoenix to trans identity and that sort of thing. Rising from the ashes and such. Um, and I don't know. Like I said, I've been holding on to it for a couple years actually, and it's just sort of something I kept mentally coming back to, and it's like I'm not sure, blah blah blah, but I'm like, yeah, I don't know. Just sort of so that's sort of the inspiration. Not, I didn't want a perfect replica of that, there's still some things I don't like. For example, even though the trans pride colors are, very sweet and that sort of thing. For an actual tattoo, I didn't want uh, I didn't want those colors, I guess. It felt a bit gaudy, basically, in my mind. So this is sort of the very basic sort of my own modified version. So I created this using ChatGPT. Just gave it some prompts and such. Got an image that I liked well enough, and yeah. So this is of course quite a bit more minimalist with the colors removed, two wings instead of four, and then it's just got a good vibe, I guess. So the vibe I was going for was elegant and powerful, and just sort of just sort of combine all that in one sort of image. So anyway, that's sort of the starting point, I guess. The artist will make a final sketch, um, and then go get it, basically. Um, thinking, I'm thinking probably on the left arm, probably like 6 or 8 inches long, something like that, I think. Um, I don't know. Just the position I might play around with still. That piece in particular, I'm not 100% sold on. But yeah, I don't know. I I really like it. So that's sort of update number one. Okay, I think I can cut back to. Okay, perfect. Okay, so yeah, lights back out. Um, so the next big thing is oh boy. All right. Yeah, so this is a big one. Um so yeah, like tattoo isn't, but this one's probably a bigger one. Um so breast augmentation. Um something I've been thinking about for a while, naturally. Um I am sort of at that point with hormone treatment that I mean there's still going to be some changes and blah blah blah, but like I guess most of the changes have probably happened now at this point. Um, there's going to be some more just over the next few years, honestly. But I'm probably like 80% there at this point. And yeah, I guess I'm, not happy with my chest, I guess. Um, so yeah, I don't know if I've mentioned this before here, but I've started wearing breast forms again. Um, it had been some time, there was a bit of like shame basically associated with it. Sorry, I keep looking over here. This is where whatever. I should just be looking at the camera. Um, sorry. Um, but yeah, so not happy with my chest, which like I was sort of hoping hormones would do more, but what you gonna do? Um, so anyway, I scheduled a consult. Um, so I scheduled it back in May, I believe. Um, and when I scheduled it, it was going to be a September appointment. That's for the consult, and then the actual operation would be some amount of time after that, weeks or months possibly. Um, anyway, I got a call earlier this week, just a few days ago, and I'd been on the wait list. I got moved up for the consult. So July 28th, I believe it's not this upcoming Monday, but the following. Yeah, so July 28th. Um, I'm having a consult for breast frickin' augmentation. Like, oh my God. Um, I don't know. When I got the phone call, I danced. I freaking I don't know. I had to. I was at work. I closed the door to my office. Like I don't know. Just very very excited. Uh, and yeah, I don't know. Just something crazy. Because again, it wasn't something I expected. I thought I was at least a couple months away, but now suddenly it's very immediate. And yeah, a lot of thoughts about it. So, first one, most obvious, is just joy, basically. I don't know. chest has been something that I have been um I've been wanting for some time. Okay, like it's I don't know. It's I'm not gonna say it's the most important thing for me, but like it might be the most important thing that I haven't um fully like captured yet, I guess, if that makes sense. Um I don't know. It's a very, very, very high impactor, I guess. Um but not all the emotions were positive, I'll admit. Um so most mostly the negative emotions were around choice. Okay, so um 99% of cis women, women who don't get breast augmentation, they don't really have a choice about their chest size, right? Like it's just you get what you get, right? I'm sort of in a unique situation where, I mean, I sort of have to choose, right? I don't just get to roll a dice. Like, I mean, I guess I could, but um, I don't know. So it's like, so I have to choose, right? And there's a lot of factors, and I've done the research and that sort of thing. And some are obvious decisions, but I'll just jump to the one that's the most like, I don't know, top of mind, I guess, which is, size. So, right, like just imagine, right? Like, I could get A cup implants. I don't even know if they make A cup implants. That seems pretty small. But or I could get like freaking G size implants, right? Like, I don't know. The range is there. And like maybe you say like, oh, well, you want it proportional, that sort of thing. There's still a range, right? There's still a range of possible chest sizes. And I don't know. I guess first there is a certain level of shame, I guess. Like shame is telling me like don't get a big chest size, that sort of thing. Like it's not something that you seek out. You should be modest and that sort of thing, you know. So that's where for a little while, and these are of course, subconscious thoughts and that sort of thing. I'm not really like thinking this out, step by step and that sort of thing. But yeah, so so my first initial thought, was like noticeable, like through shirts and that sort of thing, but as small as possible while being noticeable. Um, which basically landed me on like a B cup type range. Um, and for a little while, that's what I sort of thought I was going to be doing, I guess. Um, but like with the immediacy of this, consult, I did order. So I had B cup breast forms. Okay. Um, I ordered some C cup as well. Just recently. And earlier today, actually, me and Erica, it was very sweet, did a little bit of a, fashion show, I guess, wearing, different types of clothing as well as different breast forms. And actually, like on top of B and C, um, Erica helped me like pad my bra a little bit extra to get something like a D, and just sort of see what it feels like, right? Like, I think anything between B and D, if we're talking about proportional, anything between B and D would be acceptable. Okay. And it's like, yeah, what am I going for, right? as I said, the B cup was sort of like as small as possible while still being present. Um, the D cup, it felt, I guess the only way to say it is, it felt like it belonged to somebody else. Like it was very present, I guess, where it was like slightly overwhelming. Um, and I don't know, it was just more than I wanted, I guess. And it felt good to sort of bracket it, right? Like I said, B cup was, probably a bit on the small side, D cup was too large. Um, and that led me to C cup. And it, like I said, I had to get a little bit over that shame around asking for something larger than the minimum, basically. And once I identified it and named it and allowed myself to truly feel what I wanted, um, I don't know, the euphoria came rushing in, and then it was just like, okay, like, yeah, like, let's fucking do this, you know? Like, it just, it really helped a lot, I guess, to be able to go through that exercise and that sort of thing. Um, and yeah, so I feel prepared for the consult, which is just over a week from now, which is insane, and really excited. Um, Yeah, maybe I'll make a whole freaking video on like breast augmentation because, like I said, I've done a lot of research, and yeah, I don't know, just it's probably worth the whole video, but I don't think I want to talk about it just yet, or just here in this video, I guess I should say. Okay, what else in life? Um, I'm going to speech therapy. Um, so speech therapy, I'm addressing feminine voice and that sort of thing. Uh, and that's good. I have some exercises, but it's actually interesting because that's not new, right? Like it's something I've been working through and blah blah blah. Um, but I'm also working on my Lisp. Um, so just sort of I've been listening to more recordings of myself lately and that sort of thing. And you don't really like just in everyday speech and that sort of thing. You don't really tend to hear yourself in the same way as in a recording. And I, I don't know. It's just sort of like as I'm going through feminine voice training, it's like, okay, like what aspects do you want to work on, that sort of thing. And I kept coming back to, honestly, like more than anything else, what I notice is the lisp. And it's like, I'm talking to speech coaches, they deal with that kind of stuff more so than, um, voice feminization. Um, and they're like, yeah, hell yeah, like we have exercises for that, you know. So sort of what I'm going through a little bit. So in particular, what I'm doing right now, my tongue is very weak, apparently, or at least certain parts of it are. Um, so whatever, like I they gave me some tongue depressors and that sort of thing, and basically I'm supposed to basically just press my tongue horizontal, like just laterally, I guess, um, against it, and like here I'll just demonstrate. So I like would sort of go like mm, Mm, so right, so I have my tongue depressor on my right hand side. I stick my tongue out and then I press against it, and I do that a number of times. I do it like 10 times in a set, and then I should be doing 2 sets per day, and then that's left and right. Um, and then I also have like a swallowing exercise that I do. Um, but I don't know. It's like there are many aspects to my life that for a long time, right, like I know I I've known I've had a lisp, forever, that sort of thing. And I've asked people about it even, and they're like, "Yeah, I notice it, but it's like not a big deal," that sort of thing. 'Cause that's what your friends say, right? But I don't know. It's just something that I always swept under the rug, I suppose. I probably there was some shame around it and that sort of thing. Sort of been a recurring theme in my whole transition is feelings of shame and whatnot. Um, but yeah, just I'm working on it now. So like all through transition, not even just gender stuff, but just like I am making real improvements to my life, I guess. And I don't know, it's really cool, I guess, just continue growing and that sort of thing. Um on the subject of voice, uh so one thing I'm still struggling with, but getting better, is habitual voice use. So there is the times that I focus on it and that sort of thing. So, like, even right now, I'm probably dropping a little low, but if I sort of focus on it and that sort of thing and really get into the right range, I don't know. Like me personally, when I hear this, I'm actually pretty happy about it, I guess. And yeah, it feels good. But where I am still struggling is turning this into habitual voice use, right? So when I'm at work, when I am going shopping, whatever, and how do I speak? In particular, around people that I knew pre transition, it is hard. It is hard because it's like I am changing my presentation. That sounds silly for a literal open trans woman, but voice is a little bit different in that it is something that I use throughout, the entire day, right? It's my gateway to the world. It's not like one choice that I make at the beginning of the day by putting on an outfit. Um, it's something that I choose minute by minute by minute. And momentum is key. So if I falter for whatever reason, it's very hard to get back into it. Um, even this right here, right? Like switching into my feminine voice, it takes some amount of effort, and really I probably should have warmed up a bit before starting this video, but now that I'm sort of focusing on it a little bit more and I've made that switch, again, it feels better. I know it sounds better. Again, it's very hard for me to judge while I'm speaking, but um anyway, habitual voice use. Um, so something I've been focusing on, and I had this moment earlier this week. So there was a networking event uh, where it's basically just engineers from the plant, uh, just sort of get together and socialize, right? It's an opportunity to talk with and interact with, we're networking, right? Um, and I I knew this was going to be a moment for me. I thought about it ahead of time, right? Like, how do I want to present myself? There's a lot of colleagues that I don't interact with super often, or maybe interact with them occasionally, but not very often. And that's some of the scariest places. But I knew it was coming, that's the key. So I prepped myself, mentally as well as mechanically, just warming up and that sort of thing. And it was a short drive away. Our site has this rec center um, that is owned by the site, but again, you sort of have to drive to it. Um, and I went in there and I don't know, just not a whole lot to say other than I freaking did it. I was able to speak in the voice that I wanted to. And I was able to present the way that I wanted to. And I don't know, I was just able to do it and it felt great. Okay. Like that's the thing. Um, I keep mentally coming back to uh, I'll tell you one of my biggest hurdles, I guess. And that is the difference between what is real and what brings me joy. Um, and I see those as two different things, which might be false. Okay, so that's something that I am working through, I guess. Um, so right? Because what is real, the way I've traditionally answered that is whatever's the lowest effort, basically, whatever comes the most natural. And I think I'm starting to come to terms with the fact that that's a shitty definition, um, especially for somebody like me, right? Because I went through literally decades of quote unquote training to fill the male role, to act like a male. I don't know, just that's just how I was brought up, by society, by my parents, by my friends, whatever, just everybody. And I don't know, it makes it so that way what is easiest for me, right? What I've been trained the most for, it suddenly, not even suddenly, it's not what I want. And if I was honest with myself beforehand, it's never what I wanted. Um, when I was young, I considered myself to be basically a failure of masculinity, you know? I loved being friends with girls and that sort of thing. I don't know. It just felt very warm, I guess is probably the best way I could describe it. Um, anyway, yeah, talk about signs. But what is natural does not mean true. What I'm trying to do more is to lower my filters. I think everybody has filters to some extent, right? Like, you don't just act without thought, like there's always some level, and usually these filters are automatic, where you're not like thinking about it with active thought necessarily. But the most common example is like, maybe you act differently, at work than you do with close friends, where typically with close friends, you're less filtered, more willing to say what's on your mind, that sort of thing, than if you're at work. And for me, it's yes what I say, but it's also how I act, how I behave. It's like I noticed the other week how stilted my walking was. I wasn't. It's like I was holding my body to rigid movements. It was very, very odd once I noticed it, but it was something that I did, I don't know, automatically. Um, my mannerisms and that sort of thing. Um, Quite often they're very stilted and that sort of thing. And I am trying to be more open and expressive. And it feels good. It feels really good. Uh, it is not a persona, it is me unfiltered. And I don't know, it's something very cool, right? The whole point of transition is me becoming myself, right? Like, that is what transition is for. And I don't know. I'm starting to do it, I guess. And feels really, really good. Sorry, I'm getting dehydrated. Sorry about that. All right, what else is going on in life? I talked about tattoo. I talked about breast augmentation. Um, I don't know. That might be everything I want to talk about right now. Oh, okay. I lied. One story I have to share because I thought it was really fucking cute. Well, okay. Actually, uh, let me lead into it a little bit. So, I worry a fair bit about how people see me, like, do they see me as a man, as a woman? Um, and I will say, when I meet new people that don't know my past and that sort of thing, they gender me correctly 90 plus percent of the time, um, which is great, you know? Um, but the people who knew me before, a lot of times I'm still misgendered. Um, my grandparents misgender me, um, like 100% of the time. My parents are hit or miss. It feels like they have to um, put in real conscious effort to use the correct pronouns with me. It certainly doesn't seem to come naturally, I guess. Um, Even, some of my friends and that sort of thing, uh, that I play online games with, um, they I guess quote they get flip up, um, where I don't know, they just flip back into male pronouns. Pronouns is where I typically see it. Nobody calls me by my dead name, that is, other than my grandparents, I guess. Um, but uh, yeah, pronouns is like a bit of a harder step, I think, for a lot of people. So it's like it feeds this fear of like like they'll never see the real me, that sort of thing. That I'm just fooling the world, that the people who do gender me correctly, they're only doing it because, they see I'm wearing feminine clothing and that sort of thing, but really they know and they stand, it feeds those fears and that sort of thing. And that leads me into the cute story that I mentioned. So, I was picking Talia up, Talia and her boyfriend Dom. Um, Whatever, they had just flown into Iowa. Uh, I wasn't going to be able to get there till a couple hours later, so they went to a bar. And so I get there, they're sitting outside, and Talia has clearly had, maybe a few too many. Um, but I get out and I walk over to them, that sort of thing. And I'm sort of chatting with Dom a little bit. Talia seemed sort of out of it. Like, she was like, I don't know, whatever. She just seemed a little out of it, wasn't really engaging with me. It was weird vibes, that sort of thing. So I was talking to Dom a little bit, blah, blah, blah. I don't know, just, I don't even remember what about, just sort of like casual small talk, I guess. And Talia isn't saying anything. And then I go, all right, well, are we ready to go? And then Talia just sort of suddenly flips like a light switch where she immediately yells, Lynn? And yeah, like, what's up? And like, oh my God, I didn't recognize you, is what she said. She goes on to say, yeah, just just you know, full femme, that sort of thing. Just I don't know. The way Ty described it, she was like, "Who the hell is this bitch?" Coming up and talking to us, that sort of thing. And like, I don't know. I'm freaking standing there speaking, and like, I wasn't like trying to whatever. I was just being me, and I don't know, and it just sort of on the ride home, Talia, continues gushing and that sort of thing. It was very sweet. It was very cute. She kept bringing it up. She brought it up like three or four times on the ride home. And I don't know. It just sort of flies in the face of what I was saying earlier about some people, it seems like they cannot help but see the old me. And some people, they cannot help but see the new me. And I don't know. It's a little bit disorienting, to be honest. But I thought I talked to my therapist about this. We have to talk about our talk about everything to our therapist. And what he pointed out, which I think is true, when people are calling me by name, pronouns, whatever. Yes, they see me and, like physically that sort of thing. But they also have all this, memory, I guess, um, that, they're not making a judgment from scratch every time that they, interact with me. Talia, I guess a couple things. Number one, I'll just say it, alcohol probably helped the situation. Like, I don't know, I'm not silly. Um, but also, Talia has been, she's told me about, she's been trying to rewrite her code, basically, the way that she sees me. She's described before, she's looked at pictures of me and just gone, Lynn, 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 and she's like actively trying to see me in a new way. And I don't know, I think that's really sweet, I guess. I think that's pretty awesome. And yeah, and I don't know. It's cool, I guess. So, yeah, so anyway, just wanted to share that story because I thought it was sweet. But I don't know. Is that enough life updates? I feel like that's enough life updates. Um, so I'm getting pretty tired actually. So, and I still have to prep for D&D tomorrow. Um, it'll be a fun Modron thing. Anyway, um, yeah. So, I think I'm gonna end the video there. So, yeah, I don't know. Hope you enjoyed. Hope that whoever you are, you're doing well. Um, and I guess that's it for this one. See you in the next video. Bye.